spotlight, moonlight, why you worship and get your mood right, shorty look good in the moonlight, so why you so bad, my spotlight, moonlight, why you worship and get your mood right.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I take you on a trip down my gaming memory lane. This is a compilation of games from my childhood that made me fall in love with gaming, which still to this day consumes my life, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the first game where I discovered my love of gaming, Duck Hunt, on the original Sega Master System. I remember being amazed at around the age of 10 that I could pick up a toy gun and use it to play video games with. It blew my mind. I remember hated going to school because all I wanted to do was play, talking with my mates about how to beat certain levels, trying to find the perfect distance from the TV. I'm sure it made no difference whatsoever, but experiencing that back then was like living in the future, something out of a movie. Of course, nowadays you can run that game on a pocket calculator, but it was incredible, and it started my obsession with gaming. Just a couple of years later on the same system came Alex the Kid. My opinion, one of the best side-scrolling platformers of all time. The colours and variety of gameplay was amazing, and it kept you interested for hours. This was one to play when your parents went to sleep. You just couldn't go to bed without cramming in an hour or so before sleep. Next, of course, was the Super Mario series of games. I always preferred Super Mario Bros. 2, which is why I'm including it in this list. This game looked different and still does to this day than all others in the series. It looked grittier, more challenging, you know, digging up flowers to throw at Koopas, I think they're called, if I remember them rightly. Entering lots of different doors and unlocking secrets was much better in my opinion. Next, we have Italian 90 on the Mega Drive. I used to have a riot on this game. This for me was the genesis of football games. Sure, there were others before it, but this was the first one that was actually playable for me. A bird's eye view of triangles and circles was primitive, of course, but it still offered great gameplay and multiplayer games with your friends, and you could just play on it for hours on end. Moving on, and of course you can't have this list without a Sonic game in it. For me, it has to be Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where we were first introduced to Tails and Yellow Sonic. Everyone remembers the generic cheat code of up, up, down, down, left, right, ABC to activate it, and just ripping through the levels with invincibility was always a rush. Back then anyway. Nowadays it's you know, it's nothing. But back then it was incredible. Now this one was groundbreaking. This is of course Mortal Kombat. When this was released, no one could believe this level of realism could be in a game. The amount of blood and gore, uppercutting someone into a pit of spikes, and the everlasting struggle of trying to hit the correct buttons for fatalities. And of course, everyone remembers whoopsie! I'd sound ridiculous doing that, but you know what I mean. This game though caused the uprising of the age ratings on games back then. It's normal now, but back then it was ridiculous to put age ratings on games. They were for kids, right? Anyway, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. FIFA International next, and all I can remember above all else is purposely committing fouls, then running away from the ref for the entire match. My mates and I laughed for hours on end at this simple thing, but I'll tell you what, you haven't seen it since in games. I tend to think this is the current FIFA's problem. There's no comedy in it anymore. Hey, EA, if we can run away from refs, maybe your game won't tank. Now then, Time Crisis. What a game this was. This was the one to play in the arcades with your mates, ducking and bobbing about in front of everyone, avoiding gunfire. That ridiculous foot pedal you used to press to duck and reload. I never managed to get past like level 4, I don't think, but you kept plunging your 50p's into it because it was so damn good. And yes kids, arcades used to be only 50p a go. Now, Goldeneye, another one you cannot leave off this list. And I know I'm not alone in this one. I say this is still, to this day, the best multiplayer first-person shooter ever made. Let alone the awesome campaign that copied the movie of the time. Simple mechanics, great graphics, and well thought out maps made this an instant classic. And many hours were lost playing this game. I'm sure you can relate if you played this one. Now, let's just take a moment to realise how great Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was. First released on the PS1, it has had tens of remakes and sequels since, but for me, Tony Hawk's 2 was the best. This broke all records of gaming sales at the time, and it's not hard to see why after playing it. The combinations, long airs, flip tricks, grinds, the story mode, multiplayer challenges, this had everything and remains a classic to this day. And as you know, it's getting a remastered version very soon on PS4, which makes my childhood come flooding back. Great days. Right, last but not least, and I possibly saved the best till last. You may have a different opinion on this, but for me, Crazy Taxi on the Sega Dreamcast was the pinnacle of gaming. Based on such a stupidly simple concept of picking up passengers and dropping them off, it was epic. The large city to explore, the challenges and different taxis you could unlock made this game playable for hours on end, and there was never a dull moment.
Cool, you did it. No new record, go!
Right, well that's my list of favourite childhood games. Let me know in the comments if you played any of these and any memories you'd like to share, or if you think I've missed any from this era, because I'm sure there's a lot. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please show some love by subscribing and leaving a like to help me grow, and I'll see you in the next one. Much love, bye!